So when we talk about the examples of stakeholders, again, that would be the business analyst itself could be one of the stakeholder because they're part of the team. It could be another business analyst like you who would be working on the product, who has got experience of this before, or who's a domain business analyst, whereas it could be a technical business analyst working on the solution side of things. Again, could be another business analyst. So very important again. We need to be conscious of that. The customers, subject matter experts, people who are experts in that particular area, people who are good with healthcare, with banking, who are in retail solution for 10 years, 12 years, who spend their time in, for example, automobiles, on the ground floor, on the floor, shop floor, as what we call an assembly line, working on fixing the car parts and everything. They're the subject matter experts in terms of how a car is manufactured. They're the people who work for 12 years, for example, in a Ford factory or in Toyota factory shop floor for 12, 15 years, trying to assemble different types of cars. They would be the best subject matter experts when it comes to the car manufacturing technology, automobile technology, the automotive parts, for example. They're the components and the supply chain and the various aspects associated with the automobile. They're the best experts to consult and get guidance on that. Obviously, they're not the right people if you want to talk about banks and currencies and different, maybe personal, out of personal interest, one or two people might know about this. But then when you talk about the banking industry, banking, currency, and then retail banking, and then the different types of clients and accounts and transactions, portfolios, holdings, blah, 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 then obviously you don't expect a person who is working in the shop floor for 12, 15 years, knowing fully well about the banking industry, because then you would rather consult and get guidance and then get the overall idea and insights from a person who actually worked in a bank in that specific role for a good 10 to 15 years, who's got all the way from a teller in a retail bank to the salesperson, to the to the person who's working in the back office, who's got the processing, the credit checking and everything else, who knows the processes involved in banking, creating of an account, and then from there the journal entries and the ledgers and the transactions, the portfolios, and then a trader who has actually got all the way from here. Those are the persons, those are the people who you would expect to know a little bit more about banking than a person who is working in the shop floor of a Toyota plant. So that's where we talk about subject matter expertise. It's about the expertise gained not by studying, not just by qualification. Perhaps that is one aspect of it, but more by experience of working in that area, in that field for over a period of time. It's not just 1 year and then coming out as, yes, I'm an expert. You can't say that. Similarly, a doctor who is a surgeon in, for example, the in the cardiothoracic surgery, if that is a person, you want to actually try and develop some kind of equipment around the cardiothoracic, you would rather talk to a surgeon who has got 10 years of experience in cardiothoracic, in the heart surgery, open heart surgeries and things like that. Those are the best people to actually give you insights into the functioning and the processes involved, the procedures, what are the areas that they look at, how do they go perform the surgery, what happens in an operation theater, blah, blah, blah. So you would try to consult them more than somebody who's not even a surgeon. So it's really important to understand this from the point of view of a subject matter expert. So business analysts is very, very critical for us, because not all BAs or SMEs in every area. So we should be knowing the people who know about the subject. So we should be able to understand more. We need to consult the SMEs in that area. We need to actually ask the questions. We need to frame the right questions, get the answers, and then be able to actually take those insights back into the product definition. So very important. End user, as it says, not every customer is an end user, and vice versa. So sometimes you are buying a product, but that doesn't mean that you're actually going to use the product yourself. You might be buying for somebody else. Especially in the case of B2B, the business to business, it is significantly different from the context of a B2C, a business to consumer, or a C2C, consumer to consumer domain. So it's really important to define the context of who is purchasing the product, the customer, vis-a-vis who is going to use the product, So in the context of B2C, you've got a purchasing manager, you've got somebody who's placing the order in the context of purchase department, whereas the actual product would be used by the factory workers and the people in the factory, for example. But they don't have the access nor the privileges to be able to place the order. So in that context, in the B2C, B2B context, sorry, the customer definition is totally different from that of an end user. So you need to be able to understand that, and you can clearly differentiate between these two in every context.